Hey everybody, this is a second review of the Healthy Hydration Peak 2. I did a 5-minute cycle with this bottle, and this is going to be testing the 10-minute cycle. The 5-minute cycle failed miserably, as you just saw, and so we're going to do the 10-minute cycle with this one. Distilled water, room temperature. Okay, so turn it on once, and then if you hit the button again, it'll do 2 beeps for a 10-minute cycle. All right, I'm not going to splice the film just like I did in the first review. I can't believe how bad that first review was done with the Blue Regent test. This is why I'm doing these tests on these bottles and these companies that are claiming, 5,000 parts per billion with this 10-minute cycle. And because they're just flat out ripping off consumers with these claims. And a lot of these other companies that say they got these third-party tests and reviews, what's happening too in a lot of those cases is the actual bottle manufacturers paying these third parties to do their testing for them. So there's bias built in, and the normal consumer doesn't know that. Just to refresh the memory on this Healthy Hydration Peak 2 water bottle, I just did a video on the 5-minute cycle. It only came up to maybe 3 to 500 parts per billion, 3 to 500 parts per billion. And they claim they can get up to 5,000 parts per billion. I mean, I only put 3 to 5 drops in and it failed the test. So now we're going to do a 10-minute, which it should reach 5,000 parts per billion, just like this Amanda Bobbett did on her video. But again, at the 4-minute 15-second mark, there's a splice in her film, and you can see it, that slight blink of a pause in the cut of the film, and it continues. So, but I'm certain that if the 5-minute failed miserably, this 10-minute cycle is going to fail miserably as well. And then I'm going to work on getting a refund after this test, because it is, to me, it's false advertisement. It's deceitful to the consumers, and companies like this have no business being in business. Again, I'll put in the minute mark where you can go to, so you don't have to sit and watch these bubbles, where you can go straight to this double cycle 10-minute test. Their website's pretty basic. They sell larger models for like the kitchen. Eco-friendly and safe, crafted from BPA-free Triton and food-grade materials. Again, I'll say the construction of the bottle's pretty good. It's glass, and it's built a lot stronger than the Q-Life Max. Again, I did a review on that. I'll put the link in. That one failed miserably as well, but it came out a lot more than what this one just did. Once again, the video where she got 5,000 parts per billion, she was doing the hydrogen. I'll put the link in there too so you can watch it, and then watch at the 4-minute 15-second mark where there's a splice in the film, a cut in the film. But she claims to get 5,000 parts per billion for that test that she did. But again, she's an affiliate or works for the company. It's not clear. And but anyway, this is a full honest review of this bottle I just got like 2 days ago. Again, I'm using the molecular hydrogen test reagent. Comes in a kit. I think a lot of these companies that do these tests, they manipulate with the temperature of the water. And the research I've done, some say colder water you'll have higher counts, warmer water you'll have higher counts, and you just don't know these days. But the problem I have is when I see them doing these blue reagent tests and there's obvious cuts and splices in the film right when you're testing the water, it brings up concerns. And again, there's hundreds of bottles out there now that I can tell you that won't even, it'll be just like that first test I did. I mean, a couple drops and it failed miserably. So a couple more minutes for this dual 10-minute test. Again, this is company Healthy Hydration, the hydrogen water generator. Comes in this fancy box, $229 or something like that. This is the Peak H2. I don't see any water coming out of the bottom. If you look at the bubbles compared to my Q-Life Max that I had, again, which I can't recommend because it failed the molecular hydrogen test, not as many bubbles. But the other thing I like about it holds a couple more ounces because it's a larger bottle. But if it's not performing, it's not creating the amount of molecular hydrogen that it claims, it's not worth it. And to me, it's false advertising and deceptive to the consumer. I think we probably have a minute or 2 minutes left on this. So on the blue reagent test, the instructions: use the dropper, add water to the measure to the mark on the measuring cup line, and then squeeze the bottle gently. Drop 1 drop of the reagent and shake the container gently. If hydrogen is present, the solution will change from blue to colorless. If it becomes colorless, continue to drop the reagent until it no longer becomes colorless, and then you'll have so 1 drop is 100 parts per billion. Okay, so if we get in 10 drops, that's going to be 1,000. But as you saw from the first one, We only had 3 to 5. So what I'll do is I'll put a drop or two in and I'll shake it up, see if it clears up. It'll be super accurate. Again, I'll take some water as soon as this completes its cycle. It's 10-minute cycle, the dual cycle. I'll put water in this cup up to this red line per the instructions on the Blue Regent drops. The other thing in her video, it's kind of hard to see the number of drops she's putting in because she puts the dropper part top so close to the water, and she's counting real fast. And again, one of them, she's dropping 5 at a time, and it's just not the way you do it. Okay, so this is completed. Zoom in here. There we go. All right, here we go. This is the dual cycle test. The previous one was just the one cycle. 1, 2. That's 2. Let me shake it up. Clear it up. 2, 3, 4. Wow. Okay, that's 4, 5. That's 5. That's a double cycle. Wow. Wow, a double cycle is about the same as a one cycle. Folks, this is only 500 parts per billion. You've seen it firsthand. They're claiming 5,000 parts per billion for this double cycle. And you can see it right here. It did not go colorless after 5 drops. She put in 50 drops. So, wow. Okay, I'm definitely going to try to get my money back on this bottle. And, well, there you have it. The Healthy Hydration Hydrogen Water Generator, the new Peak H2, complete failure. Does not meet the advertisement that they said. I'm simply flabbergasted. Share with your family and friends, because again, I believe this is false advertisement and deceptive to the consumers.